Today on this video, I want to talk about is why are modern women unhappy? Why are there so many modern women that are unhappy? Well, primarily some of it is because a lot of these women are single, right? A lot of these women have been in relationships before that doesn't work, right? And the sad part about it is a lot of these women do not take look at or learn anything from that relationship because society's been telling women all the time it's not your fault, right? So when a woman coming out of a relationship, whether it be a bad relationship or not, and they talk to their single friends, one of the main things their single friends always say to them is, what did he do to you? And when you look at someone and say, what did so and so did to you, you're on a either unconscious or a conscious level implying that they're a victim. And then the minute that person starts to respond, you start to assume the role of the victim. And therefore, a victim never done anything wrong. The victim has always been the person that's been victimized. They've always been the person that having things done to them. And because of that, they didn't do nothing wrong, so they don't have to do anything. So what happened is the same behavior that you've been carrying on from relationship to relationship persists because you didn't do anything to fix it the last time because you were lied to by your friends or by people who bullshit you, telling you that it's not your fault. So therefore, if you feel you didn't do anything wrong, you ain't going to change anything. So what happened is you go into the next relationship and you keep on putting that same behavior, the same attitude out there and keep on getting the same results. And therefore you keep running back to your friends crying that look what so and so did to me. And the reason why most of you are unhappy because a modern woman can't keep a relationship. Some of these modern women cannot keep a relationship and some can't maintain a relationship. Some of you are attractive and beautiful enough that you can get a man's attention and even have a man come over and talk to you. But the minute you open up your mouth and he hears you, then he can tell right off the bat, this is not a woman I want to be with. This is just a woman I just want to get a piece of ass off her and then I'm going to dump her like a bad habit. I'm going to move on. And then you end up attracting guys that are exactly not the type of guys that you want. And why you're unhappy is because a lot of modern women are not looking at themselves, right? Forget the guys, forget the man altogether. Look at your previous relationships. How they have ended. What kind of guys have you been dating for how many years, right? Because that right there can be a clear indication of where you are and what you're doing. And because you're not really looking at yourself in all of those scenarios and in all of those situations, then you're doing the same thing over and over again. So if you're doing the same thing over and over again, what do you think is going to happen to the type of guy that you attract? They're going to be the same guy, just different faces. And that's what happened is you're not looking, the source of your unhappiness is yourself. And the biggest problem modern women is doing is they're putting it on the man. The source of my unhappiness because of him, because he did A, B, and C, D, E, F, G. And that is some of the weakest way to move forward because what you have is a woman who's not taking responsibility for anything. What she's doing is blaming all of her relationship mishaps on downfalls in a relationship because of the man. And what they're failing to realize is you are the common denominator in all of those situations. You are making choices, right? You are part of that relationship, and however it plays out, you had a role in it. You had a hand in it because you were in a relationship with that someone. If you date a guy that's a cheater, you played a role into that because people drop clues. People drop clues to tell you who they are. But so far too often, a lot of modern women are in la la land in the relationship. So they excuse things and they let things go and they let things slide. And then as the relationship progresses now, they're looking for a change. They're looking for this person to be who they want or who they think they should be. And when that person shows who they really are, then they get upset. And what people not realizing is this. When you're in a relationship, in a new relationship, you are not you're not the person who you're going to be when the relationship move forward, right? Who you are in the early stage of the relationship, who you send out in the early part of the relationship, who you put out in the early part of the relationship is your representative, right? Your representative, his representative. And what we know is that people representative, they live good together. They have good time together. They have good sex. They do have a lot of fun together. They laugh and it's fun. But the sad part about it is the representative are only temporary. Eventually, the representative goes home. And when the representative goes home, the two real people in that relationship come to light. And then what happens is 9 times out of 10, the two real people in the relationship that comes together can't stand each other. They fight, they hate each other, they barely have sex, they argue and fight all the time because people are putting an image of themselves that they can't sustain. right? You try to be the nice girlfriend or the try to be the wife material, and then as time progresses, then she goes home and the real you come to play, and real you is bitchy, you're annoying, you're angry, you're combative, it's just a whole lot of things that didn't come forth in that relationship, right? And the problem here in all of this is that when you step out of yourself and try to be somebody you're not, that's only going to be temporary, right? Everybody that comes in your life is people that you attract, right? There's no coincidence, there's no oops. Everything that happened in your life is what you put out there and what you get back, right? So the type of guy that you get back is the type of woman that you are. That's what you put out there. So when you're going out and you're blaming him and looking at his fault, you need to stop and check yourself. And what happened is society is not allowing women to check themselves. And this is why you have the emergence of the manosphere and the red pill, the red pill thing that's been going around, and guys like Lapeef and all these guys putting all these network and really showing women a man's perspective. And this is why I do videos. I do videos to show a man's perspective, what we see out there on the dating market. Now, I'm not going to come, dating because, I'm in a relationship myself. But these are some of the things that we see, the behavior and the attitude. And women nowadays are very, very, as much as they're independent and doing good for themselves in the relationship, they're flunking out left, right, and center because there's a certain behavior and attitude that these women are putting out there that's becoming a turnoff to a lot of men. And a lot of men are not looking to get married like before because they see what's out there, and what's out there to choose from is not great. A ton load of feminist women with their toxic behavior and women that are very masculine, and all the things that's out there for a man to choose from is not very appealing. Like I said, these women are visually appealing. They're sexy, they're attractive, they're good looking, but then the attitude that these women possess is what's a turn off. And when you start to work on yourself, you start to see things about yourself that make you say, "Holy shit! I didn't know that I do that. I didn't know I say this and I put I conduct myself in this way." And that's when you start to make changes because you start to see yourself. But far too often, the media and friends lie to these women, and they keep doing the same mistake, keep making the same mistake over and over and over and over again, and it doesn't change. And your situation only changes when you change it. Okay, so that's what I say on this video. If you like my video, give me a thumbs up, and you can also drop a comment in the comment section below. Let me hear your thoughts and what you think. And as always, folks, I will see you on the next video.